You're listening to Startup Club Edge, your go-to podcast for all things entrepreneurship. Join us as we discuss upcoming events, explore breakthrough business strategies, and uncover trends shaping the future of startups. Want more? Sign up for our newsletter and never miss an exciting announcement.
Welcome back, everyone, to The Deep Dive. We're diving deep today into the world of entrepreneurship with advice from Cullen Campbell of Startup.club. We'll be going through his newsletter, which is just packed with practical strategies for entrepreneurs.
Cullen's newsletter is really brimming with insights.
Yeah.
And what's caught my eye is this concept of minor major growth hacks. He's got like 70 of them outlined. I'm really eager to kind of unpack that idea, how these small moves can yield big results.
Okay, 70 growth hacks. That's a lot to unpack. So before we get lost in the details,
Right.
can you break down this whole minor major idea for our listener? What makes it so powerful?
So imagine this. Cullen's son, he decides to sit in the front row of his college class. Seems like a pretty insignificant choice, right?
Yeah.
But it leads to increased focus, better engagement with the professor. He even starts connecting with other really ambitious students in the class.
Yeah.
And that's the essence of minor major. Small actions, chain reaction of positive outcomes.
I love that analogy. It's so relatable.
Yeah.
We make a ton of small decisions every day,
Yeah.
especially in our businesses.
Yeah.
But the minor major concept really makes you think, which of those choices can actually move the needle?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's where these 70 growth hacks come in. Obviously, we won't get to all 70, but let's cherry pick.
Right.
Starting with that start phase of a business.
Okay, so the start hacks, what jumped out at you?
One that really grabbed my attention was this leverage free tools. He highlights Canva, HubSpot.
Oh, yeah?
Amazing how many high-quality resources you can get now without breaking the bank.
Especially in the beginning, starting lean is key.
Oh, yeah.
It lets you test and iterate without, taking huge risks. How would you suggest our listener goes about choosing the right free tools for their specific needs?
It's all about figuring out what your goals are. What are your pain points?
Right.
What are you trying to do? Create marketing materials, manage social media, streamline your workflow.
Yeah.
Once you figure that out, then you can start exploring tools that address those areas. Read reviews, compare features. Don't be afraid to experiment. Just find what works for you.
Yeah, for sure. What other start hacks kind of stood out to you?
Another important one is this micro-validate ideas. It's testing your assumptions really early on, using surveys, polls, things like that.
I can see how this would be valuable. Get real feedback before you've invested a ton of time and resources into something that might not work.
Yeah, it's a classic minor major move. Small investment in getting feedback could save you huge headaches down the road.
Huge. Okay, I'm taking notes. What else?
Yeah.
What else is on the start list that we should highlight?
Hack your name and branding.
Okay.
It's where spending a little time researching trademark availability, getting a good domain name really pays off in the long run.
Your brand is your first impression, so a memorable name can really make a difference.
Huge difference.
Yeah, I think that's something people overlook a lot. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of your idea and just rush through that branding process.
Yeah.
But taking the time to get it right from the start can set you up for success.
Absolutely.
So
another minor major move.
We've got a solid start foundation with those hacks.
For sure.
Let's shift to scale now. So as your business starts to gain traction, what are some of the minor major moves that Cullen suggests for that scale phase?
One that's really relevant in today's content-driven world is repurpose content.
Okay.
He talks about turning blog posts into videos, infographics, social media snippets, all kinds of stuff.
Right, reaching different audiences.
Exactly. Squeezing the most value out of every piece of content that you create.
Yeah, the content multiplier.
For sure. Think about our listener. Let's say they write a really great blog post about their expertise. They could repurpose that into a video, reach a whole new audience on YouTube.
Yeah.
Or use it as a lead magnet on their website.
That's a great example.
So many options.
Amplifying your reach and impact.
Exactly.
Speaking of impact, we can't forget leverage social proof.
Oh, yeah.
This is where testimonials, case studies, all those reviews come in.
Exactly.
People trust recommendations from others.
Absolutely.
So showcasing those positive experiences can be super persuasive.
Yeah. I know I'm way more likely to try a new product or service if I see other people have had a good experience.
Me too, for sure.
It's human nature, right?
Right.
We look to others for validation.
Yeah.
Especially when making decisions.
Yeah.
So for a listener, Gathering, showcasing those testimonials could be a really powerful minor major.
There's one scale hack I'm curious about.
What's that?
Hack Google Images.
Oh, yeah.
How do you even do that?
It's pretty clever. Think about it. Creating visuals that are so compelling or informative that journalists, bloggers, other websites want to use them. Right. And when they do, they often link back to your website as the source, which boosts your visibility, can help your search engine rankings.
That's brilliant.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a great way to get your brand out there without spending a ton on advertising.
Yeah. Small investment of time, effort.
Can lead to big rewards.
Leads to significant brand exposure.
Yeah.
So we've covered start, we've covered scale. What happens when an entrepreneur is ready to move on to exit?
Right.
What small actions can make a big difference there?
One of the most important things if you want to sell your business is document metrics.
Okay.
Keeping really good records of your financials, your KPIs, any data that shows the health of your business.
Creating a compelling story.
Exactly.
For potential buyers.
Yeah.
Showcasing the value and growth.
You're making your business as attractive as possible to potential buyers.
Right. It's like dressing up for a first date.
There you go.
Yeah, you want to make a good impression.
First impressions are everything.
Exactly. And this ties in nicely with keep operations transparent. Having really well-documented systems and processes.
Oh, for sure.
Makes the transition smooth for a new owner.
Yeah, no one wants to walk into a mess. They need to know how things work.
It's all about setting the stage for a successful handover.
Exactly.
Right down to the smallest details.
Absolutely.
Okay. And speaking of details, let's not forget repeat. For entrepreneurs who are ready to launch their next venture.
Yeah, what about them?
What minor major moves does Colin recommend?
One that stood out to me was refine your playbook.
Okay.
Take the lessons you've learned from previous ventures, the good, the bad.
Yeah.
Use them to build a better strategy for your next project.
You're not starting from scratch.
Right.
You're building on a foundation of knowledge.
Exactly.
Turn your experience into a competitive advantage.
Absolutely. And to complement that, there's test fast, fail cheap.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about embracing that iterative nature of startups, right? Experiment, but validate your ideas quickly and inexpensively.
Fail fast.
Right. Minimize the risk.
Minimize risk, agility, adaptability. It's crucial in today's world.
Absolutely.
Okay. So beyond these 70 growth hacks, Colin's newsletter goes into something that I think will be fascinating for our listener.
Oh, yeah.
Custom GPTs.
Now we're talking. This is where things get really interesting, especially for entrepreneurs who maybe don't have a tech background.
Yeah.
Colin's arguing these custom GPTs are a game changer.
Okay.
Like a superpower just waiting to be unlocked.
Intriguing. Can you break that down a little bit?
Yeah.
What exactly are custom GPTs and how can they be beneficial for entrepreneurs?
So custom GPTs are basically AI tools that you can tailor to perform very specific tasks for your business.
Interesting.
It's like having a highly skilled virtual assistant who can do anything from like interpreting legal contracts to generating marketing content in your unique voice.
That sounds incredible.
AI.
But I imagine some listeners might be thinking, AI sounds really complicated and expensive.
Yeah.
Is this really something that I can utilize?
And Colin addresses this head on. These tools are becoming increasingly user-friendly. You don't need to be a coding whiz to create and use them.
Right.
He even talks about branding your own GPT.
Okay.
And potentially monetizing it.
Right.
Down the line.
Now that's next level.
Right.
Offering your own custom AI tool to your clients.
Exactly.
That's mind-boggling.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's the power of AI to empower entrepreneurs.
Totally.
Democratize these sophisticated tools.
Okay, so before we move on to exploring custom GPTs in more detail, let's touch on a few other things from Colin's newsletter.
Of course. There's so much good stuff in there.
First up, Colin mentions the Time to Sell Index.
Right.
What is this exactly, and why should our listener care about it?
It's basically a measure of market conditions that tells you whether it's a good time to sell a business or not.
Okay.
And right now, it's pretty low, suggesting that it might not be the best time to exit.
So that's crucial information for anyone who might be considering selling their business.
Absolutely. Be strategic, be patient, especially when making big financial decisions.
Yeah, be mindful of those market trends.
For sure.
Okay. Now, for our listeners in the hospitality industry, Colin offers some advice on 3 keys to successful vacation rentals.
Yeah.
So if you're in that space, that section is definitely worth checking out.
For sure.
And speaking of ongoing learning, Colin also shares his Clubhouse schedule.
Right.
Which features regular discussions on all sorts of entrepreneurial topics.
It's a great way to learn and connect with other entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Stay ahead of the curve.
It's like a built-in community.
Yeah.
Support and exchange ideas.
Absolutely.
Finally, Colin mentions his award-winning book, Start, Scale, Exit, Repeat. Sensing a theme here.
I think so.
Sounds like a must-read.
It does.
For anyone serious about that entrepreneurial journey.
For sure.
Okay, so we've laid the groundwork here with these insights from Colin's newsletter.
Yeah.
Now let's delve into this world of custom GPTs.
I'm excited. It's clear that AI is becoming an indispensable tool for entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
And custom GPTs are like a significant leap forward in terms of accessibility and practicality.
Are you ready to explore how entrepreneurs are leveraging these custom GPTs to boost their businesses and gain that competitive edge?
Oh, absolutely. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's see some real-world applications and examples.
Okay.
I want to see how these AI tools are changing the game for entrepreneurs of all levels.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, let's talk custom GPTs.
Yeah.
Colin gave some really interesting examples in his newsletter.
You did.
He mentioned things like legal contracts, content creation, even design and marketing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Where do you think we should start?
Let's start with legal contracts.
Okay.
A lot of entrepreneurs, especially new ones, find them really intimidating.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And Colin points out that custom GPTs can be incredibly helpful in deciphering all that complex legal language.
I can see the appeal. Early on in my business, I remember feeling so overwhelmed.
Right.
Trying to understand, terms and conditions of different agreements.
That's like learning a whole new language.
It really is.
And even seasoned entrepreneurs, they
Yeah.
find contract review to be so time-consuming.
Yeah.
But what's fascinating about these custom GPTs is you can go beyond just understanding the legalese.
Okay.
You can use them to, draft amendments or ask specific questions about a contract.
So instead of just passively reading
Right.
and trying to comprehend,
Exactly.
you can actively engage with it
Yeah.
and shape it to your needs.
That's the power of it. Put you in the driver's seat.
That's pretty powerful.
Even with complex legal documents, let's say you're reviewing a vendor agreement and you want to quickly understand the payment terms, any penalties for late payments.
Right.
You could just ask your custom GPT, highlight any clauses related to payment terms and late fees.
Yeah.
And boom, it does the heavy lifting for you.
That's amazing. It saves you so much time.
Hours of tedious reading gone.
Gone. Okay, what about content creation?
Oh, yeah.
Colin mentioned that too, right?
Absolutely. Content is king these days.
It is?
And custom GPTs are becoming an amazing tool for content creation.
Okay.
Imagine having an AI assistant that can just generate blog posts, social media updates, website copy, even email newsletters.
Yeah.
All in a style that perfectly matches your brand voice.
That sounds almost too good to be true.
It's pretty incredible. And it all comes down to training the AI on your existing content.
So how does that actually work?
It's like giving the GPT a crash course in your brand's communication style.
Okay.
You upload samples of your writing, blog posts, articles, marketing materials,
Got it.
and the GPT learns your tone, your vocabulary, even your sentence structure.
So it's like having a ghostwriter
Exactly.
who knows your brand inside and out.
And this can be a lifesaver for entrepreneurs who maybe they just hate writing
Right.
or they're just too busy.
Yeah, totally.
It frees up their mental bandwidth to focus on other things.
It's like having a secret weapon
It really is.
in your content arsenal.
For sure.
But, Colin also mentioned design and marketing. And I have to admit,
Yeah.
this is where I get a little intimidated.
I understand.
I'm not a designer at all.
Right.
So the idea of having an AI tool that can help me create visually appealing content is really appealing.
It's a game changer. You don't need to be a design guru anymore
Right?
to create professional-looking visuals.
That's great.
Colin talks about using GPTs to design logos,
Oh, wow.
social media graphics, even promotional materials.
So even if you don't have that background in design or a big budget to hire someone,
Exactly.
you can still create high quality stuff.
That represents your brand effectively.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's all about leveling the playing field.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay, and then there's lead generation.
Oh, yes.
This is where things get interesting in terms of making money.
Now we're talking.
Right.
So how can custom GPTs help with lead generation?
Yeah.
And how can entrepreneurs potentially make money from them? Okay, picture this. You create a custom GPT that provides some really valuable insights or solves a specific problem for your target audience. You could offer this tool for free on your website.
Right.
Or maybe as part of Lead Magnet.
So it's like a supercharged lead magnet.
Exactly.
It's not just a PDF or checklist.
Right, it's interactive.
It's an AI-powered tool that provides real value.
Giving people what they want.
To potential customers.
Exactly. And as people use it, you're gathering information about their needs.
Oh, that's smart.
Their interests, right? Which allows you to nurture those leads more effectively.
Right.
And hopefully convert them into paying customers.
So it's a win-win.
Absolutely.
They get valuable information or a solution to their problem, and you gain a qualified lead.
And here's where it gets even more exciting.
Okay.
Collins suggests that in the future, OpenAI might let creators get paid.
Wow.
Based on how much people use their custom GPTs.
So it's not just a lead gen tool.
Right.
It could be a revenue stream.
It could be.
Wow. That's incredible.
It really is.
It's like AI is blurring the lines between content tools and monetization.
It's all connected.
It's all connected.
Yeah.
Now, I want to make sure we're connecting this back to our listener.
Of course.
What would you say are the key takeaways so far?
Well, the first thing is accessibility.
Okay.
You don't need to be a tech expert to create a custom GPT.
That's great.
With a little guidance, some experimentation.
Yeah.
Anyone can do it.
So empowering.
It is.
Opens up so many possibilities.
For sure.
What else should our listener keep in mind?
Branding is key.
Okay.
Especially if you're thinking about lead generation or monetization.
Yeah.
Your GPT needs a clear identity.
Got it.
A value proposition.
He needs to stand out.
Exactly.
Make a memorable impression.
For sure.
And lastly,
stay ahead of the curve. When it comes to AI,
right.
These technologies are changing so rapidly.
Yeah.
Continuous learning is key.
It's a reminder that entrepreneurship is about embracing change, constantly innovating, finding new ways to do things.
For sure.
Now, I know we've been focusing on custom GPTs.
Right.
But I think it's important to remember that they're just one tool.
Absolutely.
In the entrepreneur's toolkit.
It's not a magic bullet.
Right.
It's a powerful amplifier.
Exactly.
But you still need a solid business foundation.
Right.
Strategic thinking, a deep understanding of your market.
All the fundamentals.
For sure.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into custom GPTs, what's the one question you'd like to leave our listener pondering?
That's a good question. I guess I would ask our listener this. If you could create a custom GPT to tackle one specific challenge in your business, or unlock one big opportunity, what would that be?
That's a fantastic question. It really gets you thinking outside the box.
Right. It's about taking those minor major steps that Colin talks about. Small actions, but with the power of AI behind them.
Amplified by AI.
Exactly. The results can be incredible.
We've covered so much ground today. From practical growth hacks to those mind-blowing custom GPTs.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
I hope our listener feels inspired and ready to apply some of these ideas.
Me too. The world of entrepreneurship is constantly changing, and the people who embrace those changes, who adapt, are the ones who really succeed.
So true. And hey, maybe our listener will be the one to create the next big GPT that totally revolutionizes an industry.
You never know. So to our listeners out there, we want to hear from you. What minor major move, maybe even AI-powered, will you commit to implementing this week?
Share your thoughts, your insights, any aha moments you had during this deep dive.
Absolutely. Connect with us on social media, leave a comment on the show notes. We're always listening.
We're always cheering you on in your entrepreneurial journey.
That's right.
Keep learning, keep experimenting, and never stop pushing those boundaries.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Until next time, happy innovating.